What do you think, guys? Are we live? What about now? Did we get it? I can't tell. All right. Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Par Run Forge. It's another Thursday night live stream, but we are here in the Walmart parking lot in Oakland, Tennessee. Sorry for the delay. Eli is so much better at this than I am. So anyway, man, it's great to have you guys in here. We are on our way to Arkansas. We've stopped in Oakland, Tennessee, and here very shortly, I'm going to have a visit from a very dear friend that I haven't met yet. Uh, and I think we're going to go get some food and some fellowship. And then no, that's not a truck. This is Anson. I'm in your camper, buddy. We are boondocking in the Walmart parking lot. They told us, yes, you're fine, which is kind of the standard. You can stay overnight. You can't put your stabilizers down. You can't unhook. You can't put the slide outs out. Thankfully, there's a couch that's pretty easy to get to as soon as you walk in the door of the camper. So I'm basically just going to sack out here tonight and just kind of chill out. So hi to Wayne Heights, Bobby Lonis, Robert Lonis, Anson Ivy's Family Factotum. Got the shirt on. Jeff Woodring, Joe Campbell, D. Bakamaker, Daniel, how are you? Kyle Jones, Bill Wheel, Eric, good to see you in here, and Mountain Home Forge, and Jeff Killian. And I think there's a couple other here. I think I saw Dana Maggiore in earlier. Man, it's great to have you guys along for this. That's a great shirt indeed, for sure. And I'll just kind of tell you guys, we received some really great blessings from you guys and from other folks. We had a local Ford dealer donated $500 toward the fuel costs. We had $100 donated today. And one of our local gas stations, carry-out places, said, come fill up before you leave. And that's all fantastic. But I will tell you, we made this trip kind of on faith. When I took off today with gas at upwards of 450 in places on the way down here, I don't know that we've got enough money to make the whole trip. So if you guys are so inclined, please feel free to just add whatever you can through the Streamlabs tips. That goes also through our PayPal. Our PayPal is barrunforge@gmail.com. Yeah, BARRUNFORGE.com. So if you guys feel so inclined to help with the remainder of the cost on the way back, please do that. We were trying to make sure this was of no cost to the Ivy family, and they're in here this evening, and I've got the shirt on. So again, that's completely up to you guys. You guys have been an absolute amazing blessing to us. Hopefully that's not too distracting. I had to open up the door. It's pretty stuffy and humid. On the way down here, yeah, $3.99 a gallon. I haven't seen that anywhere. The lowest I've seen is $4.09 a gallon, and that's actually down at the Kroger down the way, which I'm going to try to hit before I head out of here, because I think I have some Kroger points. I might get some money off there. Kroger's a really cool thing, and I think it's kind of nationwide too. You spend money at Kroger, and it takes points off. So if you get to 1,000 points, you get up to $1 off per gallon on your fuel. So we try to save those up and do it that way. No, $4.09 for gas is the lowest I've seen. Lowest I've seen on diesel is $5.19 on the way down here. I've seen as high as $4.69 on the way down here, $4.59, $4.49. Last time I got fuel, when I needed to get fuel, was $4.34. The truck is averaging, pulling the camper at about 6 miles per gallon. And I've got a 42, 43 gallon tank. So do the math. Total trip, I think, is 737 miles to get to where the camper is going, and then a few miles to get around, places like this. So, I mean, it'll definitely be more than 1,500 miles at 6 miles per gallon, 435 and above. So it's going to be a fun one. So yeah. Anyway, man, I'm telling you what, I've had a blast doing this on the way here. Holy cow! I drove through some absolute monsoons on the way down here. Uh, Probably the hardest was in between Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Nashville. And once I got past that on I-40, the majority of the way to this point on I-40, massive crosswinds. And this is a bumper pull camper. Even though it's got the stabilizers, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got all that end sticking out there, and me and semis were just fighting the whole way. And the beautiful thing about it, the truck is such a cool truck. It once that sway gets going a certain amount, once it goes beyond a certain point, the truck actually kind of takes over. It's got an anti-sway control on the truck itself. It's just more features on this truck that I absolutely love. And I mean, it's done a great job. It's exactly what it's supposed to do, and I'm blessed to have it. But anyway, you know, we're gonna head out. I'll probably head out early tomorrow morning. I've been debating about fueling up and then skipping across the Arkansas border to get out of going through Memphis in the morning, just to get into Arkansas. And but you know, where I'm thinking about that, see how this goes tonight. If I feel frisky, excuse me, if I feel frisky, I may just go ahead and make that little jump over there, find a Love's or a Pilot or something like that. That way in the morning I can snag a shower and go on in and drop the camper off, and then meet up with some more friends. And you guys hopefully will see some of that. We're going to be in proximity to multiple people along the line that are good parts of the family, the community, and just really looking forward to seeing them as well. And I'm trying to be conscientious of you know, the dollars that have come in to do this project, and not go taking a whole bunch of side trips and stuff like that. Besides, I got to be back Saturday night. So Saturday, I'll make the drop off tomorrow. That's Friday afternoon. I'll probably make the drop off before noon tomorrow, and then got a couple friends I want to go see very close by, and then back up on my way out to see some more friends, stay the night with them. So again, no cost for lodging for the trip. But then I gotta leave Arkansas by at least noon on Saturday, because that'll be 12 hours getting back straight through to Ohio, so that I can be at church on Sunday morning, and so I can take a Sunday afternoon nap. I would encourage you not to call or text me Sunday afternoon, because I will probably be unconscious. We do have some positives. We were able to get some corn in the ground, if you saw the video on that. We did have a few malfunctions with the planter late in the day, but we found out why. It's actually a pretty simple fix. So we'll do a little bit of replant on the corn, but that also sets us up so where we can start planting on beans very soon. The simple fact of the matter is, guys, you know, I came down through here, southern Kentucky, northwestern Tennessee. I saw corn up, you know, that high and beyond. They have not had the cold, wet weather, obviously, that we've had. I mean, the ground has just been too cold, too wet. There are a few people around us that have gotten into flat fields, and the field we did plant corn in is the easiest field for us to get into and work and plant. The guys that do our spray and our fertilizer have been behind. They can't get into fields, and when they do, you know, things happen, breakdowns happen. So they were able to finally get to us and get the corn sprayed, and we'll get the fertilizer on that, and then finish up a little bit of replant in some spots. But then again, we'll jump into soybeans and try to get that all done. We're hoping to get that all done next week. The other side of that is we've not cut hay yet. We've not even baled the first bale. I take that back. We baled 10 bales, square bales of hay, testing out the work that was done on our square baler, and they didn't do the work on it right. So Yeah, I mean it's storming in Ohio right now, as we speak. It's storming in Ohio. Uh, so that it's Eli was going to try to do some field work Saturday. Probably not going to happen. Um, so man, it's kind of crazy. But anywho, yeah, we're going to be okay. I mean, as far as the farming goes, last year we had all wheat, and we did double crop soybeans, which means we follow behind the wheat with soybeans. We planted there after we harvested the wheat and the straw, and we literally had between 50 and 52 bushel to the acre soybeans on double crop, which means that is actually a decent year on standard crop beans. So since we have a wet spring and the ground's just now getting warm, it's unless the rain shuts off in August and September, we're still going to be in good setting for harvest. Um, so I think we'll be okay. We've got two fields that actually had a pretty good amount of wheat come back, so we may actually harvest the wheat in a couple of those fields instead of going ahead and planting the beans, because we could get a harvest out of it. And if we get even a reasonable harvest, I don't have any money in it, so it's all, except for fuel, it's all recovery. So I'm really Bill wants to know about my feelings on the flood issue. Um, yeah, I don't know. We might get into that, but I want to get through kind of our conversation here. Um, yeah, we'll have a late. It's going to be fine. I'm not overly concerned about it. The only issue we have is uh, insurance. Our crop insurance will only cover up to a certain date for planting. So we have to get it in the ground before a certain date before the insurance will cover it. So I think we're okay on that. We're gonna be fine. Um, the old rule on corn was knee high by the 4th of July, but that was my great grandpa. Um, you know, so that should be fine. I don't think we're going to be in any rush there. Again, we've planted double crop beans after wheat harvest, which is in late June. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I'm just oh, on Messenger. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to it, buddy. Definitely get to it. Um, but part of the conversation Bill and I had, and we'll get briefly into that, and I'll kind of fill you guys in a little bit on my stance. I know there is a big movement and a big conversation about things like in dairy, the antibiotics and the hormones; in farming, the GMOs and the non-GMOs, and organic and things like that, and organic milk and such. Uh, you know, we come from a long line of, I guess you would call it conventional farming, and my dad had a degree in ag and chemistry. Eli's got a degree in ag and animal science, and I've grown up my entire life in that community, and so we know the science. We know um, pretty educated in this, so we're not taking big guesses or just being critical of others. The organic, all of that stuff is fine. For me, if that's what you want to grow organic. If you want to grow non-GMO, the thing is, they're giving you premium prices on organic and non-GMOs because of the demand for it, not because it's the better product. So let me explain real quickly, and we'll get into the biblical side of it later with you, Bill, and we'll talk about that. But uh, GMO stands for genetically modified organism. Okay. Now, to us, that means in a lab. But I want to. My dad and I had this conversation, and we clarified it kind of like this. Um, this guy is a GMO. I'm a genetically modified organism. And here's what I mean by that. Every single one of us is a genetically modified organism. Mommy and daddy got attracted to each other because of specific traits. They became attracted to each other and they produced fruit. If only the same crop, only the same gene line was put together, then you don't have GMO. Well, what you got with that was what? During some of the air, the lines in some of the kingdoms over the years, you had kind of a messed up line. So at some point in time, the attractive things about somebody else, it works the same way with crops and animals and things like that, is we try to put the best traits of those things together. That's a genetically modified organism. I am a genetically modified organism because the traits my dad had and the traits my mom had were attractive to each other, and they created the less attractive thing in me. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, it genetics. If you went all the way back to the beginnings, let's say with corn. Now, I understand between that kind of thing and manipulation, but we go all the way to things like the original corn. Well, original corn was very similar to wheat, and people started crossbreeding and working those pollinations in such a way that you came up with hybrids, and hybrids are genetically modified organisms. Now, I understand you take that thing and you put it under a microscope and you start picking this piece and putting it with that piece, and it appears that we're manipulating nature. But if I know this is the pollination rate of this and this is the pollination rate of that, and these two things and these two characteristics, and I do it in a quote-unquote natural setting, we don't have a problem with that. But we do it under a microscope, then we have a problem with it. Again, that's just my stance on it. I'm not telling people, you know, you're wrong or you're horrible or whatever. I'm just saying, understand what people look at as GMO right now is kind of a misnomer. GMOs literally stand for genetically modified organism, and that's pretty much how we are. Yeah, and Wayne Heights is a cyborg, so he's definitely a genetically modified organism. And as far as the hormones and the antibiotics in the milk, guys, it just doesn't exist. We were dairy farmers. We had to sign with the USDA that we wouldn't put hormones and we wouldn't put antibiotics in the milk. In fact, if we did, or in the cows, very simple penicillin. If we had a cow that had high somatic cell count and we just treated her with simple penicillin, we had to take her milk out of production for 48 hours. And when we did that, we had to separate it. It couldn't be in contact with any of the milkers. It couldn't be in contact with any of that. And if we messed that up, one time, I usually did an extra milking after the 48 hours. And one time, I didn't do the extra milking. And they tested every sample of milk. Every time they unloaded the tank, they would test it. And if they found 1 part per billion, let me say that again, 1 part per billion of any antibiotic, simple penicillin, you had to buy the entire truckload. And if you did that more than twice in a year, you lost your license to produce milk. So that doesn't happen. Same way with the hormones. And a naturally occurring progesterone, we would sometimes inject a cow with progesterone. All it did was just jump-started the cycle, her normal cycle. And it's a normal hormone. It exists in every female, human, bovine, all of them. And so basically, we just rescheduled her schedule so that we could keep our production in order, and so we didn't have all our cows out at the same time. So that would allow us to know her cycle, to put a bull with her at the proper time, to care for her properly. It wasn't some sort of manipulation or anything like that. But again, if they found hormones in the milk, we lost that milk. And if we did it more than twice, we lost our license. So when people start talking about, we'll buy organic and buy the first thing that happens to milk every time it comes off the truck is it gets homogenized and it gets pasteurized. So if there's any bacteria, it's gone, and it's blended in with every other piece of it. So it's okay. And as far as the organic goes, about the only fertilizer that is permitted to be used in organic farming is essentially chicken poop, and the chicken poop has to be organic chickens, and there's only certain ways you get that, and there is a huge risk of things like uh, all kinds of bacteria in organic chicken poop. When that's the only thing on it, because it's not been sterilized or processed in any way. So, when you hear about the bad spinach that happened out in California, what's because they're using organic chicken poop as their only means of fertilizer, and so you get some of the listeria and things like that. So that's just what happens from that, and it's okay. Um, did not get so worked up about that. But I'm not worked up about it. I just, when people start saying, you can't do this and you can't do that because this is horrible and this is a terrible thing, you need to understand the process. You need to understand all of it. Anson, thank you so much, brother. You're home away from home. You're soon to be home. Home will be on the lot tomorrow, buddy. So anyway, but sorry for the rant. That'd be a Troy's tirade, right? But that's kind of where we're at, and we choose some of our hybrids for planting based on our processes. Now, years ago, we used to do where you would till the ground and till the ground and till the ground until you had a powder, and you could go out with the drill or the planter and you put it in the ground, and you go out with cultivators and you go out with all. And what happens was we get a lot of erosion. You got a lot of runoff of other things, and if you put fertilizer on the ground, that would run off or it would penetrate through the soil. And so when no-till, that's the style of no-till planting, came along, we embraced that immediately. The downside to that is it requires the use of certain chemicals, and you just have to be aware. And Ohio has a really great program as to certifying people to be able to use restricted chemicals for pesticides and for herbicides. And so really we're very careful about that. We don't overdo the spray. We try to plant properly. We do minimum tillage, and the reason why we do minimum tillage is that takes away one of those spray opportunities. So if we till and we take the fertilizer and I integrate it, I integrate that into, hey Kyle, I integrate that into the soil. So one of the biggest problems with a lot of soils right now is people are trying to cram in potash or potassium and nitrogen. They try to shove those in there, and then you get a rain, and it either goes, potassium goes out the bottom of the water table, and nitrogen goes off the top. It washes off the top. So we try to integrate it into the soil, which helps us not to have to do another spray. And if we do another spray, then that can have more effects as well. And two, when people start talking about the water table and things like that, there's more of a threat from fertilizers in the water table than there would be from a spray. For example, a glyphosate, like a Roundup, would have to, again, we're talking parts per billion over acres. Okay, so the huge amount of Dad and I we did the calculation years ago of how many gallons of straight glyphosate would have to be poured on the soil to reach contaminant levels down in the water table is immense. I mean, you'd have to do a lot of that. Granted, not all those chemicals are very healthy for you, and there's been some links to different chemicals. So we try to be aware of those kinds of things. I remember the days of things like paraquat, and friends of mine would pour the paraquat in the tank, and they didn't have agitator motors, so they would take their hand and spin it around and agitate it inside there. And hey, Tony from Creekside Maples, great to have you in here. And so anyway, that was the kind of stuff that went on. Then you'd see them grab a bologna sandwich and eat with their hands that they just stirred paraquat. Yeah, those guys got some health issues. But anyway, I think the main thing is just trying to be responsible with what you have. And again, if you're sold on organic and non-GMO, fine. The problem I have is people who are so adamant about one side or the other that they start treating other people badly about it. Much like some of the other stuff that we've heard over the past couple years or so, that you get people make it a test of fellowship and friendship over things that are really not paramount. They're really not as big a deal as we make them out to be. And so that's just kind of my take on it. And again, I didn't mean to get that be the tirade here for this evening, because we're excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about Tim from Ridge Life will be here in just a little bit, and we're going to go get some dinner, have some fellowship together, and then I'm going to head out in the morning, going to go see at least Monica and a couple of the kids from Bland's Promised Land Ranch. That will be not too far from where I dropped the camper off. And I'm going to swing up and see Second Troy Tirade. There you go. And then I'm going to swing up and stay with David at Come On Homesteading and get to hang out with, gosh, I think I know everybody's going to be there. We're going to the 41.36. It's a Simple Life Reclaim, Country Road Cure. I think Robertson's Belly Acres is going to be there. MT Homestead is going to be there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a really, really cool weekend. It's going to be packed. I mean, again, I have to be back Saturday. Yes, you do, man. I love you, Bill, and I appreciate your challenges to me, and I appreciate the fact that we don't make it a test of fellowship and friendship. So that's really, really cool. Roy gets the rant, I get the tirades. Swing up through Canada. I would love to swing up through Canada. So, yeah, don't rush, Tim. We're just hanging out here, buddy. But yeah, I'm excited to see some of those people. I'm sure there might be some other people there for Mama V lives not too far away from Possum Run Homestead, and some other folks are not that far away either. So who knows who might meet up? But like I said, it's going to be a whirlwind because I have to be back Saturday night, and there may be some pounding of the Mountain Dew and whatever else will keep me awake Saturday night. Some Hershey bars or whatever chocolate necessary. Down through Boston. No. What kind of carrot you eat? I like you. There you go. Nothing like great friends and fellowship. That is for sure. J Grandos 44. Howdy. Time spent with those we love is important. God's blessings. Thank you so much. Family doesn't have to be blood. That's right, Julia. For sure. Great to have you in here. Did someone say chocolate? Yes. Yes. Hey, there's a quick question for you. White chocolate, dark chocolate, what? What's your preference? And again, if you're so inclined to donate in the Streamlabs tips, feel free to help us complete our mission here, and that would be fantastic. And we've got some really, really cool folks in here. Dark all the way. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate. Yeah. White or dark. There you go. Man, you guys are killing it. Interesting. Yeah, no chocolate. It's dark chocolate with 5-hour energy. There you go. It's really kind of interesting. Milton Hershey, there's Mike and Terry from MT Homestead. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Well, I'm excited about it. Milton Hershey actually started building the entire city of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and he didn't even have a recipe for milk chocolate yet. I mean, you talk about going crazy or going out on faith. He actually built a whole town. The majority of the town and the factory was nearly built before he had the recipe for milk chocolate. Wow. Streamlabs is not showing up in my description on this stream. Okay. Well, again, if you guys are interested, you can also just go to our PayPal, and it's barrunforge@gmail.com. That's BARRUNFORGE @gmail.com. And you can donate through the PayPal. Make sure you hit the Friends and Family button. That will take the fee away that PayPal takes from it all. So, yeah, he also didn't get farms nearby. He tried. That was what he was trying to do, is get all the milk them in from the county to provide the milk for that. Yeah, really cool. It's really kind of an interesting story. Chocolate connoisseurs, definitely. It was chocolate for me. I like chocolate. It's not a crazy thing for me. Like I go crazy over chocolate, but since I can't do peanut butter anymore, hey Susie Jacobson, I can't do peanuts and peanut butter anymore. So chocolate and things like that are kind of a good thing. And hey, chocolate and bacon, why not? My grandma always, it was always kind of an interesting thing. If we were feeling sick, Mamaw, my grandma, Mamaw would bring us a Hershey bar, give us a Hershey bar, and a wet washcloth. Now, there wasn't any magic in a Hershey bar or a wet washcloth, but I think it was just Mamaw's presence, the fact that she was there, made all the difference. So, yeah. So, that kind of around our house, if somebody's feeling bad, you just say, hey, you want a Hershey bar and a wet washcloth? To make it all better. They had no chocolate. Oh, no. Caramel's good. Caramel, whatever. The Food That Built America. Great series on History Channel. The Men That Built America and The Food That Built America. Great series on the History Channel. They did a really good job with that. Yeah, go watch that. Thanks for bringing that up. Well, it looks like somebody... Oh, Bobby. Thank you, brother. Robert Lonis, thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, brother. And anybody else who might do that as well. You guys are such a blessing to us and a blessing to the Ivy family as well. Yeah, I mean, when you start talking about the Kellogg brothers and Lay's, Frito-Lay, and Reese's, and the Mars, and the battle with Mars and Hershey and Post, just all of that stuff, man, that was just amazing. And to hear all the stories that go with it, and people just, man, going out and, I won't say just in faith, but really just stepping out and saying, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. And I think it's encouraging to us as well, as that we can just go out and we can do things on faith. We can take those ventures and those steps. I hate to say it's like I said, Michelle said, you're going to go ahead and go? I said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. Well, what if you don't have enough money? I said, we'll have enough money. So, and before I got, I don't know, 20 miles down the road, we got some more money. So it's really, really cool. Fallen Arkansas, I'm headed your way. Fallen Arkansas veterans. How are you? I can do peanut butter, 96 hours before bed or wait. Oh, yeah. Man, oh, man. Eating chocolate half asleep. Doing okay for now. Well, that's good to hear. I'm going to be in Arkansas. Uh-oh.
What's up? Hey, you got to move this trailer.
Yes, sir. You got Come on in if you can figure it out.
Like, which way does this go?
Hey. Come on in, everybody. Woo. Get to say hi to Mr. Tim from Ridge Life. Pardon me for just a minute. We're going to do this first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Say hi to everybody.
What's up, everybody?
That's
hey,
Tim Roberts.
You didn't lose your credit card, did you?
No, I saw that out there a second ago. I don't know who that belongs to. But anyway,
I brought you a gift pack.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I have my Ridge Life shirt right here, and I thought, well, I'm doing the thing for ants and for Ivies. I thought I'll go ahead and wear that. So
now I was out of extra large shirts, so I undersized you. You're a large.
I am.
So you're gonna be all buff. So yeah, he's gonna be wearing a tight shirt.
Yeah. What's
up, everybody?
Yeah, say hi there. Oh man,
you got all kinds
look
of stuff.
at there, all kinds of stuff. I'll go through that later. But man, oh man, thank you so much, everybody. This is Tim from Ridge Life. I gotta give. Yeah, you know some of these people.
I know some
here.
of these people. Yeah.
Just all Empty Homestead,
What's
Fallen
up, Terry?
Arkansas veterans. I forget who else was on there that you might know. Kyle from Dark 30 Outdoors.
What's up, Dark 30?
Yep. And but anyway, Tim, I got to give props to Tim because And this is really funny because Anson one day sent me a text and he says, you got to go check out Tim at Ridge Life. And he does this Tuesday night watch and grow. And I was like, yeah, we were kind of struggling with subs and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, okay, I'll go in there and I'll just get all kinds of subs, you know. And that's why I go in there. I'm going to go in there and get all kinds of subs. And then I got in there and I saw the family, the community, and I thought, okay, not about that. So I go in and I see all the great things about it and the share and the community. And before I know it, half of our subscriptions were Homestead and all that kind of fun stuff, and the other half, well, what's going on here? Yeah. And then we started making connection, talking to each other and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what? If I'm coming to Arkansas and I'm going through Memphis, I got to see this dude.
I gotta see this dude. Yeah, we're gonna eat some good food too.
Yeah. So you guys get a blessing here. You know, I said my wife loves salt and pepper hair. So, you know, dude with salt and pepper hair. And I said, honey, I'm really sorry you don't get salt and pepper. You get cinnamon and sugar. So tonight, you guys get salt and pepper and cinnamon and sugar right here all together. So, yeah.
Where's the camera at on this?
Right here.
Okay, I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right spot.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I'll look over here. I have to look at myself, see how I'm looking.